All right, moving on to our next session, we've got another fireside chat, and the topic is going to be enterprise AI adoption, obtaining faster predictions and business growth using AI. Can I please have on stage Ali Moses, CEO and Head of Analytics and Data Science, and Sanjay Taskar, Founder and CEO of Assimilate Technologies.
Thank you so much. Firstly, Internet 2.0 for the great conference and this session. So basically, we're actually speaking on enterprise AI adoption and obviously some of the challenges companies face, how to do it correctly, how to be successful in incorporating AI into the business. And with me today, before I introduce myself, I'd like to first just have Sanjay. Just introduce yourself for maybe 30 seconds, 1 minute, and then we have Alok as well.
Sure, thanks. So I am Sanjay Taskar, founder and CEO of Assimilate Technologies Pvt. And we deal in a technology consulting and solution provider company. We help companies in building mobile app, custom web app, or end-to-end product development. So using like niche skill technologies like a MinStack, MonStack, React Native, then Flutter, AWS Cloud Services, Azure Cloud Services, and Java and .NET. So these are our tech stack we are working as of now.
And I think a lot of people know about Sanjay because we've had like a long, detailed conversation. Okay. So a detailed conversation on BNPL and Care Now, Pay Later. Alok, please.
Hi, I am Alok Tiwari from AIVOT AI. We are an artificial intelligence company. We are based out of Estonia. We are having office in India, in Mumbai, as well as in USA, in San Jose. We are completely focused into the artificial intelligence, and definitely, I mean, we have achieved some pretty good milestones in the last 3 years. We have delivered over 30 projects for our American and European clients, only one in India. We have developed, some of the products around, with NLP, with video analytics, computer vision, and analytics. We will talk about much more into detail with the AI adoption, as well as, the uses, pros and cons and details. We'll hand over to Ali so he can introduce himself, and then we can move forward on the next level.
Thank you, Alok, and thank you, Sanjay. So guys, I'm Ali. I am currently the CEO and heading the analytics and data science team of Data Pilot. Data Pilot is a data science, AI, and analytics services company. We're currently operating across 3-4 continents, and we have a good client base in the US, Europe, Australia, in Pakistan. And so we were currently focused across 7 to 8 industry verticals: retail and e-commerce, financial services, mobility, textile and fashion, logistics, and beyond. So thank you guys, thank you Sanjay and Alok for joining. So I'd just like to, before I start the session, if I could have like a show of hands of maybe company owners who are trying to incorporate AI and data analytics into their day-to-day business. Can I is someone working on this initiative and someone facing any challenges when it comes to, digital transformation or change management, specifically with respect to data-driven decision-making? Anyone here? Because I just want to understand, the audience, because it will be a fruitful session for you because, just helping companies with this challenge, because currently what's happening is around the world, a lot of companies are trying to implement AI within the business. Data analytics as the base is straightforward and a lot of companies are able to achieve it. But when it comes to predictive analytics, specifically use cases like Alok mentioned, there has to be, a strategy and a roadmap to implement this in the right way. So I'd like to hear from Alok, Alok, adoption of AI to enterprises. What do you think? What's happening around the world? how has your experience been in working with different clients when it comes to helping them solve different problems using AI?
Thank you, Ali, for the wonderful question. And before getting into the detail with the adoption of the AI and my experience, I would like to first give a little bit how the people can relate AI. So when we talk about the artificial intelligence, it's exactly the mimicking our brain. So I will little bit give you the insight about how our brain works. So if we look into, we have a presence of mind, which is called prefrontal cortex. So this is a part which observes the thing. And we have the limitation as a human, so we can remember up to 4 to 5 things at a time we can observe. That's the limitation. When we talk about the AI, there's no limitation. It's the machines can observe multiple data points at the same time. Second thing, when we talk about our memory, that is our neurons in the human brain. And when we talk about the same thing, the data capacity that we are having is huge. That's where our prefrontal cortex that calls out the historical data, and then we take the decisions. And that is based on the limbic system, which is our past experience. So that's human brain behavior, like connecting the live experience, the presence of mind is the prefrontal cortex, with the neurons, which is having the data, our past experience, and connecting through our limbic system, which is the reference call that we use for our past experience, and then we behave and take the decision accordingly. As a human, we do have the limitations that we cannot have that recall of the multiple things at the same times. We cannot observe more than 4 to 5 data points at the same times. That's the human limitations. When we go to the any enterprise, and well, one of the most important thing I want to bring it here before getting into the details, we are here in the Internet 2.0. And when we talk about the AI, I think Internet being the, the first thing, the evolution, the seeding point for getting the AI to this level where we are sitting today. Because Internet has helped in accumulating huge amount of the data. That data we can use for the analytics, we can use for the artificial intelligence model to train and to work and to increase the efficiency of the organization. Well, now I can get into the enterprise adaptability. So likewise it says like human brain, the people, the management team, and the people are resources, they are working in the organization. They are working as when they have the limitations, they can work on the multiple data points up to 4 to 5. But when they can use the AI with the same data is trained in the proper way, then they can make more efficient decision. And in that way, like, it depends on the industry to industry. So that can be, helping hand to the, different industries. There will be different applications. Well, I can give you one of the, example from one of our client, basically. So that's a real huge case. So how AI can, assist different things, so different people. So we have one of the client that in the high tension preventive maintenance, high tension power line preventive maintenance, and they wanted to say like how we can get the AI helping us. We do not have the internet connectivity with the remote areas where the high tension lines are there. We do not have anything. How we can be able to use the AI and how we can adapt. So then we went there with the solution, say, okay, fine. We have helped them in building the, one of the IoT device. Initially, the first step, we built the applications where the users, they were, whoever is going there, when they are recording the data, like what is the maintenance required, and whatever the parts they are replacing, they are doing, and that data is used for the training. And then the IoT device, when we put in, that was sending the data from one device to other device, and then that's going to the substation. Substation is having the data module that is transferring the data to their server. And with that, they are getting the data, and now they do not require in any preventive maintenance that person has to go and monitor in the remote area. They can directly, the person can go to the point where that's required the preventive maintenance. And in terms of the emergency shutdown, if something happens, they get exactly the GPS location, where's the problem. And they can get into that, and that can solve. So that is helping them with the preventive maintenance, and when they are doing the preventive maintenance, that is avoiding any emergency shutdown. On the same time, even if in case of any emergency shutdown due to the weather restrictions and other things, they are able to get to the exact location without wasting any time. So that's how it is helping. And they are extremely happy clients with us, and they were so happy that they after that offers us to be the joint venture partner.
Great, great. Sanjay, what do you think? You're currently running a software services company, and specifically when it comes to your product, BNPL, I'd like to understand what initiatives are you taking within your product, within your business, when it comes to implementing AI, and obviously, if you faced any challenges up till now when it comes to sort of implementing these initiatives within your company.
Sure. So like BNPL, like most of the people become aware about it, like it's a buy now, pay later.
Yep.
And we have implemented this BNPL concept in 2 products. One is like Vayu, which is a Dine Out product, so which can say Dine Now, Pay Later. And another is a Cherry Pay. So in a Dine Now, till the now we are collecting the data, but we have this like obtaining faster prediction and business growth using AI. So we are going to apply the AI model for understanding the like a user's interest. Like if today I visited some hotel, and if next time I'm planning to visit such a hotel, and what all are the things I like over there mostly. So we are planning to implement that AI for that such a thing, which can give a recommendation and which can show the hotels in a interest of that particular person. So that way we can adopt this AI for our Dine Now Pay Later solution. And similar way we are planning for the our Cherry Pay, which is a Care Now Pay Later. So Care Now Pay Later is related to healthcare. So we wanted to identify the people who has a capability to buy the insurance, but they are avoiding to buying the insurance or avoiding to pay insurance. But at the end, they are ending up paying a huge amount on the medical expenses. So we want to apply this like an enterprise AI adaptation for this and categorize such a people and give them a prediction. For example, if I say I am a patient and I haven't took a medical insurance, and if I end up at the year end, if I ending up by paying a lakhs rupees for my healthcare, so I want to identify such a people through our data and suggest them instead of ending up paying such a huge amount, buy a 10,000, 15,000 rupees insurance, and you can save your lot of money over there. So would like to bring this concept over there.
Sanjay, I want to add on to it. So I mean, it's a perfect example of the behavioral analysis of your consumer. And definitely, I mean, it's one of the going to be one of the best use case. And one of our client, like we have already delivered a solution for this recommendation for your dining out, basically.
Oh, great.
So where I mean, it's not just recommendation, but what we have done is like we have trained the model with the a huge amount of data for the Italian, continental, Mexican recipes, because they are US-based clients, so majority of the cuisine you can find there.
Great.
So we have trained with all the data for the different recipes. So adapting to the taste. So like it's not just that looking at the recommendation based on like you like the Italian or something, but there might be the taste buds that you like mild food or something like that that can be into the recommendation. Apart from that, we do have the capabilities where what happens, like it can look into your health data as well. So like you're at the age of 38, you are 5'6" tall, and you are having the 62 kg of the weight. And based on that, you need micronutrients, you need some calories, some proteins, and based on that, it can also recommend what exactly the need of your body, and based on your taste buds and preferences, you can go for this kind of the meal.
Great. So let's take this discussion forward. Before I take this forward, I'd like to just speak about enterprise AI adoption. I think it's very important for you as a company to have a plan, right? These things are not too straightforward as they sound, because C-levels usually do not have a deep understanding of AI, right? Some of the problems which are not even AI are taken as AI problems, because a lot of times you could actually solve problems through prescriptive and descriptive analytics, right? So firstly, when it comes to enterprise AI adoption, you need to have a plan and a roadmap and a framework in place. So there's an AI framework in place where you actually come up with different use cases to solve, and what sort of data do you require to solve that specific use case, and that's where your data strategy comes in as well, right? Until you don't have a plan in place, honestly, you cannot do it the right way. So enterprise AI adoption, honestly, because it has to be top down. The C-level buy-in and generally the top management has to believe that we need to do AI and we need to solve this specific business problem, because that is going to lead to X amount of ROI, right? That is very important. See, okay, if you're solving the specific problem using AI, it's going to help me increase revenue or reduce cost. Because if you do AI, there are two reasons you do AI, right? It's either increasing revenue or reducing cost, right? All the use cases. So what I've seen is that never ever, and this is just like advice because I feel that a lot of companies sometimes do it wrong, that make sure that you have a plan in place and a roadmap in place. You can look at some documents or frameworks by Bernard Marr. He's really good with this, right? And then some really good frameworks out there for you to, so for instance, if there's a machine learning canvas, which probably helps you identify different use cases and ensuring that you have the right data to solve the right use case at the right time, right? Moving on, and taking this discussion forward, what sort of business objects? So, we do AI, as I mentioned, and I repeated, to increase revenue or reduce cost. So there's a business problem we're solving here, right? What I want to understand is that so for instance, if you were to, Alok, you work with so many clients and you work with clients as well. What I want to understand is what sort of, what plan should companies follow when it comes to solving problems using AI? What sort of business objectives should there be in place? And number two, what success criteria should be there to make sure that if you're spending X amount of money in a use case, you get ROI, right? Yeah.
Well, great question, Ali, and thank you for asking this. Well, number one thing, when we talk about any CXO level people or any enterprise, first they need to lay down their manual process or what the process they are following and what are the best results they are able to achieve. That becomes their basic benchmark. If they are going to increase anything beyond that, that's the win-win situation for them. So that's the first thing. They have to lay down their own existing thing. They can have the best resources they're working, what they have in hand, and based on that, what they can achieve, what's the best result they can see. So that becomes their baseline plan to implement the AI. Then definitely, when you talk about the framework, definitely there's a framework. And definitely we need to, the first and foremost important thing is the data exploration, what they are having. Understanding their business and the data they are having, because sometimes the people go wrong with the AI. What happens, because AI is again same way, like, when the data is most important. So if you have the garbage in, garbage out. So you'll not get the efficiency. So definitely the most important thing is require the data exploration aligned to their business objective. And then you will be, building the model and train, and then you can making it more efficient, which can increase their basically ROI, or you can say the top line, bottom line. So when they increase the efficiency, it is having the impact on increasing the bottom line, cutting on the cost. When that is used in terms of the marketing and business development activities, it is going to add on to their top line, basically increasing their revenue. So it all depends, and definitely the AI is always going to be working with their existing plan to improve and enhance that. So they always need to have their best and most efficient plan that they can have.
Great. Sanjay, what do you think? So when it comes to offering services to clients, specifically, software development services. You must be, so how many times have you gotten queries from clients asking you to implement a specific use case? Because obviously if you're developing a product for a company, there must be some discussions on how you could sort of do AI or general analytics. And I'll talk about that as well, because we're talking about AI, and I just want to be, so what sort of conversations and what sort of use cases are you currently exploring with your clients when it comes to implementing AI?
Sure. So thanks for asking. So over here, like whenever we are discussing with the customer on the requirement front, so initially they are asking for the basic, we can say MVP kind of thing. And once the MVP is done, they are starting collecting a data. And once they get the X amount of data, after that, they are asking for generate the prediction, identify the right customer, like on an app or on a web, we'll get n number of customers, but all not will be your real customers. Some of them not interested customer, some of them just casual customer. They are nothing to do with that particular thing. So customer is most of the time asking, I want to identify a right end customer who could help me growing my business.
Yep.
So that's the common use case we see in every requirement discussion. And he want to identify the genuine customers. That one thing. Another thing, he want to give some additional thing based on a interest of the end customer. If I'm a smoker, what kind of smoking I do? So that kind of prediction. If I go for the education, if I am a learner, see, for a learning there are n number of things. But I'm interested in assume that I'm interested in a Microsoft and Microsoft certification. So I should get such a courses which are aligned to my interest. Yep. Nowadays, our YouTube is giving, if I say some specific kind of video, so it start giving me suggestion, or similar kind of reels started showing me. So that is a kind of adaptation of AI.
Great, great. And I think very valid point. So, customer experience can be made flawless using data analytics and AI. And actually, most of the talk nowadays, and even if you talk about myself, I work with a lot of companies, and a lot of the focus is on customer analytics and customer 360 degrees profile, because that's where personalization comes in, right? I'd like to understand any product owners, not product owners, actually people who own products or running product companies here in the crowd? Anyone? Because I just want to understand the sort of use cases you have in the platform, because yeah. So, okay. Do we have anyone? Yeah.
Please. Yes. Please.
So I just want to understand, if you're running a product, what sort of use cases do you currently have to deliver a flawless customer experience, and use cases with respect to analytics and AI?
Yes. I have a company named Telewellness. It is a digital health company. We have an application doing health diagnostic by selfie. Oh. You are doing a short video, because our AI is trained on both voice recognition patterns and face patterns.
And if I talk about these use cases, any challenges you faced when implementing voice recognition or,
regulatory challenges.
What is your biggest challenge? Just want to understand.
Regulators, they want at least 2 years of experiments on a big set of users. But it is already working, this application, but not in medical area, because medical area there is strong regulation.
I have one question. So you mentioned that you are in telemedicine, right?
Not telemedicine, because we are not medicine. We are
fine.
wellness,
Oh,
telewellness.
Okay, fine. So, but you are, what are the features and what are the things that you are capturing with the 30-second video you mentioned?
By video, we are doing capturing data of your face
Yes.
and correlating it with other data regarding your health. For example, you put today I am sick, and we see that your face is like that. Tomorrow you will write I am
So it's like
pretty
more
well.
of the facial emotions recognition, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then I think, well, you have given the very good, interesting use case, and then I can go to the little more, next level of the, things that you mentioned. So it's with this 30-second of the video, we do have one more capabilities, like, with the reflection we can get the PPG waves of your human body. When we visit the doctor, you might have seen that, remember the doctor have the touch points, this, here, and then here, chest, back. These are the points where you can, capture the PPG waves. So when you have the 30-second video that is coming in, the PPG waves that is behind the skin can be easily captured. We have developed the capabilities. With that PPG waves, we are able to measure your blood pressure, your oxygen saturation level, your hemoglobin level, your heartbeat, heart respiration variability, which can be used for the ECG, and like plenty of things that is the vitals that you can get. And then you can combine, and even with the facial recognition that you can combine with the your stress and other things, also combining with the data points that your heartbeat, respiration, PRQ, and blood pressures, and that can give you the accurate idea like where you stand, and that can be the pre-stage for any doctor to look into that how they can do the better diagnosis for it. So
Great.
this is a step ahead that we were talking about, like capturing the PPG waves and RGB, which is like getting the more inside of the data that what you have right now. So adding to it.
Great, great, Alok. Moving on, a lot of the companies who are trying to implement AI in their organization, and not even AI, like when it comes to AI, I'd like to, so AI is, if you look at, I'm gonna just try to explain this using a set diagram. So AI, don't take AI as AI. So AI includes machine learning and deep learning as well. And this applies to, what I'm gonna talk about is the other challenges. So when it comes to, there's a whole AI circle, and then within that, there's machine learning, and within that, there's deep learning. So ML and deep learning are also part of AI. Because a lot of times, C-levels and business users sometimes struggle to understand the difference between AI, machine learning, and deep learning. Specifically, when we talk about things like, natural language processing, and NLP, conversational technologies, that's what we refer to as AI. So coming back to, coming to the challenges, and I'd like to give my thoughts on that first before I pass it on to Alok and Sanjay. When it comes to the challenges when implementing AI into your organization, I've actually seen companies face a lot of different challenges. So firstly, if I look at, like, for instance, the amount and quality of data, that's one of the biggest challenge, because a lot of times, even when you're planning or coming up with a roadmap of different use cases you want to implement in your organization, a lot of times there's no quality data available. And if data is available, a lot of times the right variables are not available. So that's like one of the biggest challenges companies face when it comes to implementing different use cases in the organization. The second biggest challenge, I believe, is change management and the reluctance of employees who are used to using conventional methods for data-driven decision-making. That's something, because, for instance, if someone has been using Excel since the last 10 years for decision-making and telling him or her to shift to self-service BI or using dashboards to take decisions, it's not easy. And that's where you need to have a change management plan or a digital transformation plan into place, where you sort of train the employees and have that C-level buy-in to ensure that everyone adopts to data-driven decision-making in the organization, right? Very, very important and one of the biggest challenges. Third is, again, lack of talent. Like, there are very good people in the market out there, but still, it is a challenge to get the right people to help you implement stuff, because, and that's where, specifically startups struggle, because they're confused, like either to outsource the AI data analytics work, or should we build an in-house team? And I firmly believe that in the start, to get things going, I think you should outsource and then start building in-house capability. But talent is something a lot of companies face, across the globe, because it is not easy to find the right people who help you implement data analytics and AI use cases in the organization, right? And there are a lot of other challenges, but I'd like to hear Alok, his thoughts. He works with so many companies, and then Sanjay, as to what sort of challenges do you think come into play when implementing, AI, or consulting the companies you have, the clients you have, to do it the right way?
Well, thanks Ali for again a wonderful question. And I would like to add into it, it's not limited to ML and deep learning. There will be some more things that added to it, the list, the reinforcement learning, supervised learning, unsupervised learning.
Yes,
it's all
obviously,
applicable.
yep.
So that we can keep this is something that I will say is not a point to discuss with the client when we go to the client. We are meeting the CXO level clients, and we do not expect any technical insight from them. So the core objective, because it's scenario based, that you will be using, the ML model, AI ML, or you're going to use the reinforcement learning, or you're going to use the deep learning, CNN, whatever. This all depends. Like, I think somebody has asked the question, they were recognizing the voice. So definitely there has to, get into the voice spectrogram, and there's like more on the technical inside that will not required on the front. So main thing what we focus, understanding their business need, and then telling them, and after knowing their, whatever that they are having inside, the data inside they're having, or if their limitation on the data, that's also possible. So based on the scenario that we say, so that's first thing what we do, we evaluate their business and exploration of their data. That is, we do normally the free, because until unless we are delivering the services, we do not charge to anybody. So we spend time understanding their business, and then we come up with the model that what could be the solution that will be helpful for them. And I can say the touch wood that's been so far, we have not met any client that we have explored and their business, and then we have given some recommendation and he has not taken it. So we had been like, with the 100% successful rate in terms of that, because we have been blunt and upfront to some of the client that, okay, I think based on your business requirement, AI may not be helpful here, so it's very early stage, we cannot do it. So we have been also honest on that part. But on the other side, that's been like, where we have found that, there's definitely there's required and AI can help a lot. We have given the right recommendation to them, and that's how like we break in. I'll tell you that the sort of experience we had, cybersecurity US patent holder, the guy who has got the concept with the US patent for the mobile data security. And what we have done to them, actually, they have like 5 to 6 companies they earlier tried. They have lost almost $300,000, and they were not able to get into the basically the US patents requirement to have that working model. They approached us through some of the common contact, and we delivered the entire solution in 9-month time. And then they have put us as a co-patent holder into the US patent application. And another thing, they have given into the same company 17.5% equity as a appreciation to our team. So, thankful to most of our clients, and it's also the thanks of board goes to my team as well. Second thing, the people make the mistakes in terms of the resources capability. So what happens, resources capability, people look into the technical capability, somebody is like Python, PyTorch, knowing the AI ML. But most important, when we look into any business and enterprise, we have to make sure that makes sense to them. And the most important assets and resources required, they are the people who knows the statistics and mathematics. Because statistics and mathematics, that never goes wrong. And that's the base for any AI solution that is required and that has to be delivered. We do hold like 4 PhDs in statistics. We works very closely with the statistics institutes. I myself is expert in the calculus, and I'm engineering graduate in computer science. So we focus on that personally and identifying the solution based on the business need, and we have been 100% successful so far.
Sanjay, challenges in enterprise AI adoption.
Yeah, so the major challenge were here, like people want to implement the things, but they are not aware about it.
Yep.
So the major thing we need to make the awareness. We need to understand, I'll give her one real example. People wanted to implement AI ML in their solutions, but why they want to implement it,
Right.
that's the biggest challenge.
That's where the exploration
Yes.
required. So we need
So
to do
that's why we need to generate the awareness. We need to take a time to understand their problems, then collect their data points, and based on that, give a suggestion. But
That's a very good point, Sanjay. And actually, a lot of times, companies are not actually sure, and there's no success criteria into place when you start implementing a use case. So understanding the business problem is very important to make sure you understand, like, from a business standpoint, number one, and from a tech standpoint. So business is one way, but the other side is to ensure you're using the right tools and frameworks to solve that specific problem. Yes, Alok?
Yeah, one more point actually I want to add here. Majority of the time when you meet the people basically for their requirement, that is your capability to identify. Because mostly the people, they will not come to the point that what they need exactly. They will give you the stories and they will give you the requirement which is all around the problem, but they will not tell you the problem. That's where the capabilities lies into the organization, the people who are taking the requirement to identify this is the right core need of the organization.
Absolutely.
And if you hammer on that, then it's all yours. They're adapting it.
Spot on, Alok, spot on. We have like 2 minutes left, 2.5 minutes left, and I'm going to wrap this up. Honestly, if you're looking to implement AI analytics into your business, make sure you just like find some notes. Make sure you have a plan in place, like the different frameworks available online, but make sure you're doing it the right way. If you're going to invest money into these initiatives, make sure you have a plan, and then a plan which helps you succeed. So there should be a success criteria and an ROI mechanism into place. And now you could also analyze impact of these use cases in terms of numbers. Obviously, there's a way to do it, but for example, if you have a personalized recommendation model into your application, analyzing how much revenue is that generating for your application, right? That's the sort of success criteria I'm talking about. Like, for instance, Amazon generates 35% of revenue from their recommendations, right? And they have like a very, very strong mechanism into place where they can analyze impact of each and every use case, right? Don't just rush on implementing AI. Just make sure you have a plan and you make your foundation and base strong. And when it comes to the foundation and base, that's where your data engineering pipelines come in to ensure that you have scalable pipelines in case you're ingesting data from different sources. So you have like an analytics landscape and a scalable infrastructure. And after that, you go on implementing AI. That's the right way. Rather than just hitting AI use cases from the start, that's not the right approach. Alok and Sanjay, I'd like to hear your thoughts, closing thoughts. We have 1 minute here.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you one of the most important thing here to implement the AI. See, the human brain is limited, but we can scale it up with the using the AI as our assistant. So definitely it is going to be the added advantage. You always put in like your manual and the traditional setup as a baseline model with the most efficient person on the place to always as a basic plan, and then you can implement the AI. Definitely it's going to add value to you. You can see the deliverables that is like, over exceeding your expectation. And definitely in terms of the business need and area, like if it is the area of the business development, marketing and all, you can see the top line having the direct impact of it. And if it is like, operations and the, business need, improving the efficiency, it's going to have the impact on your bottom line, getting like most efficient, also cutting down on the time and all those things. So that's definitely the closing remarks I can say. Always go for the, the basic exploration. First understand the requirement, put it like in the right way, put your manual best plan on the place, and then validate the AI solution against the, your existing plan.
Great thoughts, Sanjay. Any thoughts?
Yeah, same. Indeed. Whatever you
Great.
said.
I think can we take 2 minutes for questions? Cool. Any questions? Yeah.
Hi, my name's Kezia. I run a marketing company, but I'm building an AI tech product. So I have a question for you, Alok, and then one for you as well, Ali. Alok, so a lot of business owners are reluctant to kind of adopt AI models because there's, a 70 to 80% accuracy with most models till present. Could you give us an example of an AI model that you may have worked with a better, accuracy rate?
Well, I mean, it's a great question, Sajia. Thank you very much for asking this question. And that's, I mean, where the award we have been on that, like most of our model that we have, given the example, accuracy stands over 90% for the most of the data model. And that's where, because the base things what we work with the mathematics and statistics expert to working on the baseline before getting into the technical mode on the, building the model and all. So you works where, can just elaborate that, which kind of the client that you are looking for, then I can give you like a little more insight on that.
I mean, any example that would be easy for us to understand with a good accuracy rate?
Okay, fine. So I can give you there's two examples, like maybe the quick one. One is like, for e-retails, getting the accurate body measurement. We have developed the solution where like, with 2 photographs with the 2D front and side view, we can get the accurate body measurement, and the accuracy with the 4 million photographs being processed so far has been 97% and above. So that's one example. Second thing that goes for you, one more thing, like people, the majority of the people now, they are doing the sentiment analysis and the predictive analytics based on that. Sentiment analysis is right now, most of the companies that's limited to positive, negative, and neutral 3 degree. We are working on one of the advanced level where we are combining it with the 9 emotions that can make more sense and increase the accuracy. So when you combine, like when working with the sentiment analytics with the 3 degrees, like birds, you are taking as positive, negative, or neutral. But when I have delivered, particular statements, it's out of passion, or it's out of like, business competition, or greediness, or anything, that has the huge impact. And when you are analyzing the data with that, combining the emotions to that, with the phrase, that's give you like better accuracy. So that sentiments can be applied to the even anywhere, like you can look at the indices, like predicting the stock market, you can use into the different vertical. Even we have done the recently, the election happens in India, and we predicted 51.5% vote for the BJP right after closing the voting session, and they got 52.5% after the completion of the, the final result came out. So you can see the accuracy.
Yeah.
So can I add something here? Like just, so remember, Kezia, accuracy in one metric is one metric. So in AI, you have bias variance trade-off. When it comes to real-world AI models, there's a lot of bias in real-world data. So you cannot evaluate every model based on accuracy. So if you have like 100 data points, so for instance, if I'm predicting defaults, there's going to be very less defaults, right? And for instance, just give me an example. Out of 100, there could be 90 success like paybacks and 10 defaults in a bank. And that's where you cannot use accuracy, but there are a lot of other metrics. So based on the data you have and the problem you're solving, you need to ensure you're using the right metrics, like F1 score. I'm not going to go into a lot of details, but balanced accuracy, confusion metrics, recall, precision, rather than always looking at accuracy as a metric to evaluate models. I think that's what I want to, I'm sorry, I'll address your question later.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Sorry that we couldn't give you more time.